So I think this is a good. So hold on, this is perfect.
Can you mute that?
Yeah. Okay. So it looks like we are definitely having our first stream based on how smoothly this has gone so far. So hi everybody, I'm Mxiety. My whole niche is that I'm going to be talking to you about mental illness. I've been suffering from it, or I've been diagnosed since I guess almost 10 years now, and I've realized that it's something that people don't talk about nearly enough. And so I brought my husband on because he's been the second sufferer, the step sufferer in my wake, because he's had to handle everything that I've had to handle, because my diagnosis came around the time that we met, because that's actually what gave me the gall to finally go and talk to a counselor about it. So it doesn't mean that I wasn't suffering before, it just means that I didn't know what the heck was going on. So you'll see around there's a bunch of nonsense. There's pens and just kind of like things that are supposed to be relaxing and supposed to help people. My goal here is to share stories of real people who are handling mental illness and handling just day-to-day things. And the second goal is to kind of give you something to do when you are feeling anxious and stressed out. So one of the things apparently that I do now when I'm anxious and stressed out is I go on camera and tell people about it. So it's not his fault, but I got him on. This is Pat.
Hello.
Wave. I also will be checking in with our chat room. If you can't hear me or anything like that, definitely be giving us a heads up. We're babies. This is our first stream, so we'll be definitely relying on you to make sure everything's going smoothly. I need your help. So things you'll see on my desk, again, we're going back to that. So top 3 of the hour are talking about mental illness, talking about what it's like to live with somebody with mental illness, what depression, anxiety are, and I guess that's your top 3. And then the fourth piece is we're going to be doing all of that while we're going to be there's a corgi coloring book, there's dot to dot. We're going to see what stresses us out the least, because that's kind of the goal. Eventually, when guests come on, they're going to teach me how to craft stuff, because I am horrible at crafting things, and I think that it's hilarious. So the other thing, Pat is actually worse than I am at crafting things. So I told him that he has to make something by using scissors and possibly not hurting himself. So we'll be monitoring him. Definitely let us know in the chat if it looks like he's about to poke his eye out and I'm not paying attention because I'm doing my own thing. So we're going to start over here. Patrick, this is your equipment, correct? Look at this
Correct.
beautiful, this is blue construction paper?
It's lots of construction.
Okay, so, and we have scissors. So far, so good. Here, we're back to our pencil. Okay, also making a cameo. I don't know that you'll be able to see him. He's very long, but that's the end of his body. That's our corgi Flynn. I'm sure he'll wake up at some point and start harassing us because he can't possibly spend a moment alone. Okay, so let's start. Pat, you're gonna tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, what's the thing that you feel like defines you, other than because clearly being my husband is not your number one personality.
So
We're looking over there.
That's true.
Because that's where people are.
Hi.
We're
Hi,
saying
people.
hi.
Yes. So I am a software developer. I'm a gamer. I am a everything online related person. I'm a Twitch viewer, and now apparently a Twitch streamer.
He's a forced Twitch streamer, which is actually a new category, I think. I don't know how many people will be harassed into streaming onto Twitch, but if you're married to a Twitch streamer, apparently that's now a requirement that you're fulfilling. Okay, Pat. So what's going on? What are we doing? What are we making? You gotta tell me what are we making.
I'm going to use this construction paper, and I'm going to make a cover for a light fixture in the house as a Halloween decoration that should look like a whole bunch of spooky, scary branches.
Spooky, scary branches. So every year we host a Halloween party, right?
So this is the 4th year?
Is
Third
it?
year?
It's at least the 3rd.
I think it's the 4th.
Because we used to have them in our old place too,
We have
right?
in our old apartment as well. So, at least 4. That's
so we're
cool.
really cool and not at all nerdy. I don't know if you can see my shirt, but that says Livermore, School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. You could let us know in the comments if you know what that is. If you just feel like lurking and that would make you feel better, that's also totally okay. But so let's get started. So first you have to draw your spooky scary, but you have no desktop space. So let's make that happen for you by removing. I'll remove this out of your way. And okay, so the idea came from Pinterest. Where else? In a really cool universe where I know how to both stream and do video at the same time. I'd be able to pull up the image and be able to see how cool this thing, the final thing, is going to be. We're using really sophisticated technology right now. Pat is using Scotch tape.
I believe.
Actually, it's brand Scotch tape.
We didn't get paid for that.
Yeah. I feel like the 3 viewers that we have would definitely be clicking through and buying Scotch tape, so I'm actually feeling a little offended that we're not endorsed by them just yet. Okay, so now for the mental illness part. First of all, this is...
dive right into it.
Well, I mean... Wait, why are you taping that?
Well, I've got 3 layers of construction paper.
Why?
Well, because light goes through one of them, and I wanted to make sure that it wouldn't go through.
Oh, it's
all
not
3.
supposed to go through?
No, it's supposed to make shadows.
Okay, so it's gonna go over the light fixture.
Right.
And I don't know physics enough to be able to explain this properly. But, so it's supposed to go over the light fixture, and then the shadows that it throws make it look like...
Branches.
There's branches all over. Yeah.
So I'm going to start doing that, and while I'm doing that, why don't you get into the spiel about what we're going to be talking about?
Okay, so the thing that I'll be mostly bothering you about, dear viewers, is mental health. So I guess I should start off by explaining again. So 10 years ago, I was diagnosed with depression and OCD. And PTSD, and all of that comes in a neatly wrapped package of anxiety. The thing that I've realized over the years was, one, I never let myself be about it. Like, I could never just, I don't know, you know how you get annoyed if you have a cold for too long? So having mental illness is like day in and day out. Having that cold and like that sniffle that just won't go away. And then on top of that, you have people coming up to you constantly and being like, why don't you just like... Why don't you just, you use a neti pot? And the interesting part, though, that it gets, so if you have a cold, somebody will just come up to you and tell you, like, oh, man, I took Claritin and it was great. Or, yeah, I took some vitamin C and it goes right away. But if you have mental illness and you tell people that you take medication for it, they're like, oh, so, like, you can't function without medication? And because you already feel like you're not at 100% capacity, just like everybody else must be, and there's a lot of comparing yourself to other people while you're trying to navigate and figure out what the heck is wrong with you. Because you're doing so much comparing of yourself, anybody saying anything to that extent is deeply hurtful, and then you overthink it. And people tend to overthink things anyway, but if you have something that's called obsessive-compulsive disorder, a lot of people actually don't know that OCD is not just for like nervous tics and I have to like touch a doorknob 5 times before I walk out. And that's a debilitating part of OCD. But another version of it is when you have compulsive thoughts that you can't get rid of. So there will be people that will be suffering, like one of their symptoms will be that they can't get out of their head that they're going to kill somebody. And it's terrifying to them because it's a very disturbing thought and it's not something that they would ever do, but it's a recurring thing and they can't stop it. And so when somebody comes up to you and is like, oh, you're taking medication for that? Or it's like, oh, you can't just not do that? Have you considered not just, distract yourself? Like, do something else. go out and take a walk, and then that'll make it better. And it doesn't. That's not how these things work. And the reason I have, like Pat's drawing stuff, I have all these coloring books, I have, giant stacks of them, is not because I think that you can distract yourself into being better. It's just because all, recurring thoughts are disturbing. Hearing your mind tell you that you should hurt yourself in some way, or that you're not worthy, or that you're not loved, that kind of stuff it's really difficult to hear coming from inside of you all the time. And you can't, you could go take a walk and you're still going to be thinking about it. You could be in the shower and you're still going to be thinking about it. You could be petting your dog. You could be having an awesome day. You could be on your wedding day. You could be on your birthday and blowing out your cake and thinking, wow, I'm a piece of garbage. And, there's definitely levels of this. There's definitely some people have it in such a debilitating way that they literally can't function socially. Thankfully, I'm not one of them, but I know that there are plenty of people out there like that, and I've encountered them. And one of the things that motivated me to get up and start talking about it is that I realized the more I brought up that I felt like I wasn't normal, other people started talking to me about how they felt it wasn't normal, how they were feeling and thinking, and that when they were bringing it up to other people they thought would understand, they were getting a lot of judgment. And so I started doing research, and I went online, and naturally you don't have to do a lot of Google searches to figure out that there is a ton of people out there suffering from the same thing and actually going forward trying to help the cause of reducing the stigma, reducing this horrible feeling that you get knowing that something's not right in your head, and knowing that other people think that about you when they see you. And so the more people I talked to, the more I realized it was common, and the more I did research, the more I realized it was even more common than I thought. And there's a lot of people out there trying to do good work and trying to show other people that you're not alone, and you don't have to take any drastic measures. You don't have to do anything to hurt. You don't have to hurt yourself. You don't have to. You don't. There's nothing wrong with you. The bottom line, and I'm getting choked up because I have this like fear so often, and I'm here to tell you that I have now gotten to a point in my life where I have a bunch of friends that at some point have either suffered from had a panic attack and then never experienced generalized anxiety disorder, people who have generalized anxiety disorder, which by the way is the main symptoms of that are recurring feelings of panic and nausea. You might have physical symptoms. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some sources that can explain this way better than I can about to people who might not understand the actual diagnosis. The physiology of it. Because I don't want to butcher it, or I don't want to tell you it's one thing and it's another. But basically, nothing's freaking wrong with you. It's just like anything else that is wrong with anybody else. There are people out there who lose their limbs and continue living amazing lives, and there are people out there who suffer from horrible other illnesses. There are people out there who have something, maybe not as serious, but just as life interfering as migraines, and they don't get nearly the same amount of crap that people with mental illness do. Great example, I was recently listening to somebody talking about how their family disowned them after they admitted to having a mental illness, and like that kind of stuff shouldn't be happening. I mean, families have been effed up and disowning their loved ones for a very long time for the stupidest reasons. Yeah, it's as is tradition, but it's like that shouldn't be happening, guys. And more importantly, I'm here, and I'm okay, and I'm alive, and I haven't killed myself, and I have felt suicidal, and I have had that thought in my head going around that's like, you should do something really hurtful right now to yourself. You should end everything. You should end your suffering. And right now I'm talking about it super casually because I've been symptom free for a little while and I'm on medication and I'm managing it. And that's actually another great point. I'm not going to be here to tell you how you need to manage your mental illness. Like, everybody needs to take medication, or everybody, if you just did yoga, as I mentioned before, that drives me absolutely insane when other people will do that. And I just don't think it's productive. So I'm just here to share my story, hopefully hear from other people who have, I want to hear, what I want to get is a lot of those moments of people going, oh my god, yeah, that's it, that's what I felt, that's what I thought. And I just wanted to be on the topic of mental illness. Speaking of mental illness, this looks like something drawn by a 5-year-old. What's going on?
It's going to be spooky, scary branches.
Is spooky scary?
Cutting out what I've drawn. It's probably really hard to see.
Yeah, hold on. Can you... I just want to make sure that the camera kind of captures it. I don't even know if you can see the lines.
It's hard because it's pencil on dark blue.
Okay, so he's going to cut it out so good right now that then you're totally going to be able to see it. Should you staple it in the middle? Because I feel like once you start cutting, it's going to start falling apart.
Taped in the middle all the way through.
You guys. Again, Scotch brand, Scotch tape.
Okay.
He's taped it in the middle. Hashtag ad. It's going to be incredible.
Hashtag no ad.
Hashtag not actually. Okay, I guess I should start doing stuff, but it's hard to talk and do things. I don't know how people... I get... The whole point of Twitch is people play video games and do it, and
Right.
I mean, you know that when we play video games, I just trash talk you, but it's like, it's completely nonsensical because I can't make sense. Like, it's like things like, you're made of garbage. Like, nothing that would actually be offensive, but more would, like, make the other... It's actually probably super effective, right? Because it makes the other player stop and be like,
What did you just say?
What did you just call me?
Yeah.
Do you have any good examples of things that I've said to you?
Good examples of trash talking?
Oh yeah, my amazing trash talk. I don't know. I mean, if I'm that awesome, I feel like people need to know that on our first stream. If I'm like so good at trash talking,
I wouldn't worry about it too much.
All right. Well, so I think the point I was trying to make is that being awkward is also totally okay and something I will be excelling at. I actually, yeah, I think I'll be proving my worth there to you as well. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna connect the dots. I have found it's actually gotten to the point where I'll like start having a panic attack and I'll be feeling so crappy that Pat will be like, "Where's your connect the dots?"
Yeah, where's your dot to dot book?
Get your dot to dot, and you know, I'll sometimes be like a petulant child and I'll be like, "I don't want to connect the dots. You can't make me." And I'll be like, "You know what'll make you feel better?" I'm like, "No." And then I sit down, I start doing it, and it makes me feel better. So this one is
very cool.
It's super cool. Oh my gosh, I got it at BookCon in New York, and it is called Dot to Dot Tolkien. I don't think it's like actually authorized by the Tolkien estate. Yeah, I don't think it. I think
definitely not.
It's not authorized by the Tolkien estate. Yeah, it says it right on the back. Okay, so things in here kind of look like hobbits. Like here's Bilbo that I've connected so artfully before. And I think part of the reason I like Connect the Dots so much is that, I just dropped something. Part of the reason I like it so much is that you don't have to be good at it. I'm really bad at coloring and I'm really bad at crafts. I really like scrapbooking, but other than that, like I'm pretty bad at it. So connecting the dots is like it's very procedural. You can't fuck it up, and at the end of it,
you can.
Listen, this is beautiful, okay? Look at Bilbo. He's fully connected. All of his limbs are there.
What happened to his other arm?
His other arm is not visible. That's his hand.
Just his hand. Okay.
Okay. I don't need this kind of nonsense. Okay. I'm a very sensitive woman.
Right.
You need me to cry in front of the camera? No, I'm kidding you guys. But you've probably seen me cry at some point, just because it's a thing I do. How's that going?
So it's going okay.
No, sorry. Go ahead. I asked you and immediately interrupted you.
Here's one branch.
I can't find.
It's not that scary, I don't think.
Well, it's getting there. Look at the spooks on that.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep going. I'm
Okay.
gonna keep cutting out stuff.
I'm very proud of you, honey. Okay, so One of the first questions that I had to ask for you is super open, and I can elaborate on it.
Is this QA time now?
It's QA time because you haven't talked at all, and I feel like people are gonna think I just put you there so they can watch you cut things out.
Well,
and I mean, if that gives you
is,
ASMR, that's totally cool too.
It's not close enough to the camera or the microphone to do that, so.
You could probably hold on. Maybe you. I don't know if you could hear Pat's scissoring.
Har har har.
Okay, so I'm looking around, you guys. I know this looks ridiculous. My first question to Patrick is, Patrick, what's it like having lived with somebody who has mental health issues?
It's tough, but.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. You're gonna get Ben Affleck, where and I immediately interrupted you. I asked you a question, immediately interrupted you.
Right.
No, but do you know the whole Ben Affleck thing?
Not really.
Somebody asked him, like, oh, how do you make your marriage with Jennifer Garner work? And he's like, well, it's a lot of tough work. And then he got attacked, and Jennifer Garner was upset because he said that marriage is tough.
Well.
And, like, I guess you're supposed to pretend like everything's super...
I don't think
super light over
anybody
time.
anybody who's married will tell you that it's a walk in the park every day. I mean, you end up with days that you know. I don't remember where I read it, but somebody said at some point that when you're in a good marriage when you can still say I love you when the other person is being an asshole.
Oh, I like
and still mean that.
I like
So
that.
that's kind of, that encapsulates marriage very well.
Oh, I like that. We've only been doing that for a year, so that's really nice that you're still saying things like that to people. Like, I could still tell her I love her. Where the heck is this pencil? I'm looking around and
That's the thing you dropped.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, everybody who joined us now is not going to know.
But this fell
Okay.
about 15 minutes ago.
They will once this is on YouTube. Okay. So, you guys, here's the procedure for proper ... Ready? You find a pencil. Possibly you've dropped it before, but it's okay. You can pick it up.
A post-drop.
Post-drop pencil. You are going to insert it into a sharpener, and that. And then I have a sharp pencil that I can start my dotting with.
Is a sharp pencil required, or is a dull pencil?
I highly recommend a sharp pencil for proper ... procedure. That being, this shit is really hard, okay?
What if you're a badass and you want to use pen?
If you want it to be, like, really difficult. Listen, if you're cool enough to use pen, I want you to send me that ... that you connected with pen. I want to see that. I will print it out and put it on my refrigerator and tell people, yeah, one of my Twitch followers could ... with a pen, and it's fine. That's like, isn't that like a crossword? That's the equivalent.
I've heard Sudoku with pen.
Oh, that's just...
It's a little insane.
There's mental illness, and then there's Sudoku with pen, you guys. There's worse things out there. Okay, so I don't even know what this is. Should I keep... apparently I didn't finish, because only winners finish. Gonna be... What am I... Is this Gandalf? Are any of these Gandalf?
One of them should be. I mean, at least a wizard, generic, non-registered trademark.
Non-Tolkien wizard.
I mean, Tolkien invented high fantasy.
Did he?
So, I mean, that's what
Is that factual? Can you prove that? What's your
I
source?
don't have a source. It's totally unfounded. That's not something that you'll find documented anywhere. Although people have probably made the argument. I don't think anybody was doing wizards in the middle of a world with rogues and the dwarves and everything until Tolkien kind of put that all together and then said, this is my story and this is my world and this is the people who are in it.
Alright. I don't know what this is, but it looks like a bunch of old men. One of them's laying down, possibly taking a nap. We will find out when I connect the dots. Maybe I'll have to do this over several episodes, hopefully not. To those of you who are still watching, Thanks. That's really nice of you.
Yeah, we're not doing
appreciate it.
anything interesting.
I mean,
yet.
well, wait a minute. This is plenty interesting.
Oh.
There's scissors happening. A pencil has been sharpened. Tensions are high.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Can't find the one. Oh goodness. Oh, I got it. I got it, you guys. False alarm. Okay, so,
More anxiety producing than relieving. You got it.
where's the one? Oh my goodness. Dog state, still dead. You know what I'm gonna do? Actually, I'm gonna take a picture of him so that I could post it later and be like, this is my dog the whole time. Clearly he's very supportive
Very.
of our endeavors. What you don't get to see that he does all the time is he cries. He makes what we call the monkey noises. Because if he's not constantly being pet or held or it's totally my fault because I treat him like he's my baby. So if he's not constantly in some way being praised or held, he has a maybe he has some kind of thing.
These are the spooky, scary branches.
Oh my gosh, I'm so spooky scared.
We'll see.
Okay, wait, can we do like a test of light throwing later, maybe? Maybe at the end.
I can't tell.
No, I don't. I guess it's on your face?
We'll have to see.
That actually is really cool.
Why?
Man, I would never be able to make that. You're set. He comes on, he's like, oh, I don't know how to do anything. I'm like, okay, well, you wanted to make this thing, why don't you try to do that on quote-unquote live? And he's like, oh, yeah, I could do that. And he's like, you're totally being a badass. Look at that. I couldn't make that.
No?
No, I don't think, I could look, I just found 1 and 2, and I've stopped after that, so I think you're way ahead. Alright, so tell everybody more sad stories about how hard it is to have a wife and mentor.
It's not sad. I mean, being able to help somebody through something like that is fulfilling. It's not that it's not difficult sometimes. I guess we've already touched on that. But
Is it difficult sometimes?
Sometimes it is difficult.
How do you find the difficulty level?
The difficulty level is palpable.
Sometimes?
Sometimes.
Or all the time?
Not all the time.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Contrary to what has been said, it's only some of the time.
Before on this, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, it's nice to be able to help to guide somebody through it. To say that what does your therapist say you need to do when you feel like this, or just to kind of keep them.
Hold on, you're implying that people have therapists. Not everybody necessarily will go to a therapist. We have parts of the country where people can't, like there's like one therapist for every like 100 people.
That's true.
I don't know that you could quote me on that source, but I feel like I've read somewhere that that's part of the problem.
That's true. I would suggest that if anybody who's watching this and is saying, hey, that seems like this seems like something I could watch. If you are having any of the feelings that Maria was talking about, like anxiety or a general heightened anxiety, or if you are going through high school / college, isn't that the age where mental illness is developed?
Yes, 18 is usually the time where it's manifested.
It wouldn't hurt to go see a counselor, and I wouldn't suggest a high school guidance counselor. I had bad personal anecdotes about
if you're lucky enough that you have a therapist,
an actual therapist.
I did, and she still was not awesome. I hope she's not listening. I wouldn't want her to be upset about that. But she just was not very helpful. And that's the other thing. I find, like, therapists, you have to go through them like friends. Not everybody is going to end up being awesome with you through the end. But when you find a really good therapist, you want to stick with them. But, yeah, college is where I started because it was the first time I had access to free counseling. And
I feel like that should be a requirement when you go to school. Just to be like, first of all, to know.
Because nobody has like an easy time starting college.
Right.
Nobody's
that's
like,
a big...
I don't know anybody. It's a new environment, and I'm living in a new place. Gee willikers, this sure is the best thing I've ever done. The easiest.
Some people take to it. It takes them a few weeks to get used to it, and then they're good for the rest of the time. Other people end up, staying in their room for the first few months that they're at school, and then they don't make any, freshman friends, or they think the freshman activities that you have to do are lame, and you sat...
Oh, did they use words like lame? Did they?
In your dorm room, and you didn't go out, and you made no friends, or you didn't think that there was any activity that you would have enjoyed. That was something that may have happened to me. But
these are bricks. I'm sorry, I'm really excited about my bricks.
Yeah. Most colleges, I think all public schools,
I think they have to, right?
should have counselors
because they
on
have
site.
funding for that.
Right.
All right, at least in New Jersey. We're talking out of New Jersey, and
Yes.
I know this factually that it's part of the funding is that you have to like pay counselors, and they cannot be paid out of any private funds because that's like a conflict of interest.
So if my suggestion would be everybody makes one appointment with a counselor when at some point early on in your college career, or if you're partially through your college career now, then do it as soon as, or and just to figure out the baseline of how you adjust to things, and it's really just a conversation. I mean, you go into a counselor's office and you have a conversation with the person there, and they just kind of listen. And
it's kind of like this, actually. I mean, if you walk into a counseling office and they give you off a bad vibe and they sit down, if you sit down and they're like, so what do you want? Why are you here? Or whatever, and they give you off a bad vibe, like that might just be a crappy person. So I know there's a lot of anxiety with people about like talking, just in general, talking about what's going through your mind. A lot of it's scary stuff, especially if you are experiencing something anxiety, depression related. So maybe now's a good time for me to talk about what like my symptoms were. So the thing is, there's not like one way to have anxiety and depression. I mean, there's a DSM-4, which is the Diagnostic Statistic...
DSM-5.
DSM-5 now. The Diagnostic Statistic Manual, 5th edition. So we've already, in 5 editions, we've already edited and adjusted what we've considered mental illnesses. So there is definitely a criteria, but that doesn't mean in 2 people anxiety will show up the same way. Pat here has been anxious before, but his anxiety doesn't stop him from leaving his home, and doesn't.
Some people might.
But for some people it might, right? So, for me, I seem fine because I'm talking to you, but arguably it's pretty easy to detach yourself and not. I'm talking at a screen right now with my own face on it. That's not too difficult to do. Long story short. The way anxiety first manifested in me, I actually had no idea what the heck was going on, because I got a very overwhelming feeling that I was dying. There were just signals going through my brain. They're like, you're about to die. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. You can't breathe. You can't see. Oh my God, what's gonna happen next? And because all of that is going through your mind, you just start panicking. So maybe that's why it's called a panic attack. So if you were not in physical danger, imagine you're like standing around in your house, and then, and if you have anxiety, and I'm talking about it and you're a little uncomfortable, please stick around. I feel like this is more for people who might not necessarily have experienced it, but imagine you're standing around in your house and you know everything's fine and you're comfortable and life's been good, and then you thought about maybe something stress-inducing. If you have generalized anxiety disorder, sometimes anything could trigger a panic attack.
Sometimes nothing.
But yeah, sometimes it could be absolutely nothing. It's your brain's like, we're in panic attack time! It's the daylight savings adjusted. So you will be standing in your kitchen, and then all of a sudden your brain's like, you're dying. So then you start freaking out because you're like, wait, why am I dying? I'm fine. And
you are fine.
And you are fine. You're not actually drowning. You're not actually losing your breath. But because your brain is sending a distress call to you, being like, "Get out! There's danger." Your body starts responding to it as if like there's a mammoth running at you. But obviously there isn't. Like I think the first time it happened, I was in your basement. Literally, we were just talking.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even remember what it was about. I just remember the horrible sensation of what a panic attack was. And I've heard other people have given me the account that, like, they got into a taxi and started driving to a hospital. And then they got to the hospital and they're like, "You're having a panic attack." They're like, no, I'm dying. You need to check my heart. You need to check, and you know, the nurse will check, and your oxygen's fine. You're fine. Everything physically with you is fine. It's your brain telling you the wrong thing. And so sometimes you can't get out of it, you need medication. Sometimes for some people they meditate, and you know, we'll have plenty of these podcasts to talk about ways that people, and blog posts, the ways that people handle it. But that's how anxiety first manifested itself to me. And the difference between me and a few people that I know that just get anxious sometimes is that I'm not able to stop feeling nervous. You know how it's like the equivalent of like stage jitters, if you've ever had like a school play or something that you were part of. But it's having that about everything. Like, oh my god, and then I'm going to walk out of my house, and then what if it's too cold outside? What am I going to do then? There's easy answers, there's solutions, but you can't see them because you're in such a heightened state of everything emotionally that you can't even see them. And
it's exhausting too.
Of course it is, because it kind of, for me, and maybe you could talk about the experiences you've had with other people telling you about it, but for me it's been a lot of, it's exhausting because I have to talk myself out of a lot of it. Like, for example, if I am sitting there and I'm like, oh my god, what if I sit in my car and I die in a car accident? And so then I have to spend the time talking myself down and telling myself, okay, well, you're not going to be in a car accident, you're driving, there's not a lot of people who live in your neighborhood, you're just going down the street to get bread, the chances are super slim. All of that takes so much effort and time, and in that time, I still haven't gotten into the car and gotten the freaking bread or whatever the heck I needed to do in order to go somewhere. So it's exhausting, it's frustrating, because often you understand that you should, or not that you understand, you want to be able to just do whatever it is you're set out to accomplish, and you can't. So, so that's anxiety for me. I guess we'll talk about depression another time, since
it's hard to bring up all this stuff at once, but honestly, I think if anybody takes anything away from this, is that if you feel like you're feeling weird and there's things going on that you can't explain, or you feel like you're trapped in your own body about, you know,
whatever it is.
Yeah. You should see a counselor.
Just see somebody who can give you an answer. Even if it means that you go to an emergency room, and that's how you get that first insight into what the heck is going on. If you go on, oh god, I hate to tell anybody to go research anything on Google, because the results, you could find stuff I don't want you to find at all. Like, you don't need to see that ever. So, maybe try to find a good trusted source. At least ZocTalk. My website has a few of them. By the way, which I'm promoting, holy crap. I'm launching my website as we speak. I actually uploaded it to all my social media.
As you're dotting.
As I was done. Well, no, at the same time, it was telepathy. I did it right before we got on the stream, and so now you can go on Mxiety.com as we speak. The whole 3 people who have put on this channel and then walked away. Thank you, by the way, for doing that. The views help. But
we're very appreciative.
No, we super are. But what the heck was I saying?
Mxiety is live.
Mxiety.com is live. Oops. And we're super appreciative that you're here on our Twitch, but check that out afterwards. I have some resources on there for you. I remember one of the scariest things that I had found when I felt suicidal is that I typed in what to do if you're suicidal, and Google brought me to one resource at the time. This was probably like 12 years ago, because I think I was like 16 or 14, and it was to write love on her arms. and it was just all it was is somebody sharing a story about how somebody had committed suicide and how that horribly like affected the people who
Knew that
stayed
person.
behind. Yeah, who knew that person and were very sad to see them leave, and that helped. But man, that like there's so much more better stuff out there at this point. More better. There's so much better stuff out there. There's just so much of it. Period. So that I recommend looking around. You could start with my website because I made sure to like vet all the sources that I have on there.
You have other websites linked,
Yes,
like
and
other people's.
Yeah, I'll lead you.
resources.
It's at least a good starting point because it'll lead you down to doing more research and figuring out. My philosophy, though, and I'll probably end up repeating this every episode, is there is not one person on this planet, human, maybe even like mammal. I don't know. Maybe some dolphins out there could also use therapy. My point is, there's not one person out there that I have ever met, talked to, looked at that could not have at one point in their lives benefited from just talking to a professional. Just once. One 20-minute, 15-minute session just with somebody who isn't your best friend, who is in no way biased and attached to your situation to give you insight. You could go to them and you could talk about how excited you are about going to get married. And they will just give you a new perspective. And it's not like I'm advertising something because some of these resources are free. There are quite a few counselors that are free.
Especially if you're on a college campus.
Especially if you're on a college campus or
in high school.
Or now, friggin' there's resources on my website. Talkspace, 7 Cups, those are free.
Oh, right.
So
Those are all great.
there's no reason not to reach out. And I think if you take away nothing from this, and I hope you take away a bunch, it clearly won't be how to cut out a spooky forest.
I love it.
I mean, I know you love it, but like they were not able to see what you were doing.
Yeah, I know.
But it looks really cool. Check it out.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it on the screen here. That's
So-
really so. How's this gonna go?
So, I guess the light fixture, it's going to go up like this, but I'm going to have to like...
So the light fixture looks like a bowl, you guys.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you've had this lamp in your house.
Yeah, so it's just a regular ceiling light, and I'm going to poke a hole through the middle, and then I'm going to put the branches up around it.
With our signature brand Scotch tape.
Yes. And then, then it should throw some spooky looking shadows down the hallway.
All right, I'm gonna record that for my story for Instagram. So after this, you guys can go on.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
And check that out. You guys, I think some of you saw what I did with my Stranger Things letters. The one person that was watching that last time, I love you. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, so my Stranger Things letters were on my story, so I'll be sure to capture it there. Maybe also on my Twitter, I'll see how repostable it is and how capable I am with social media. You did a way better job. I connected bricks. Oops. I connected bricks. I don't know if you can even see them.
Oh, they're over here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Aren't those the brickiest bricks you've ever seen?
Oh, it's like a ruins.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's the mines of Mordor?
Oh, the Mines of Moria.
Moria?
Or registered trademark. Please don't sue. The Mines of More.
Token? More E. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dot. Yeah. Anyway. Please nobody take away my geek card. It was a one-time thing. I swear. I know what the Mines of Moria are.
Speak, Brandon, enter.
Alright. So
I'm done. I don't know. You didn't provide me a craft that would take an hour. This was a solid.
do you feel
45
gypped?
minutes.
You feel gypped out of your crafting? This wasn't 45 minutes. It was like a 5-minute introduction
That's true.
section. Yeah. Okay. So
I have to figure out.
I don't know why I said that. That just reduced my credibility. Okay. So, well, I mean, technically it'll probably take you another 15 minutes to. What are you doing? Are you trying to see if? You
Oh, look! See on the wall.
Nobody can see that.
No, I know you, but we could see.
I can see that.
It's not bad.
Literally nobody can see.
It kind of looks like a shrubbery, but that's fine.
I mean, it's supposed to look like shrubbery, right?
Yeah, like the spooky shrubbery.
Wait, what if we put... Hold on, do this. I'm going to do this and try to drop a shadow on. There it is. Whoop. No, you're ruining it. You're ruining it.
Yeah.
Your hand is in the way. There you go.
Well, there.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Look at that.
That's not bad.
That is really cool. It might look like we're under the sea.
Well, actually, it does look like a bunch of seaweed.
It does look like coral.
Like you know what those seaweeds that they beach that are like a big bundle like this, and like they have those little like eggs in them.
I lost my page.
Oh,
I found it.
Okay. Oh, okay.
All right, so then why don't you talk and then I'll
Why are we
craft.
streaming on a Sunday night?
Oh, thank you for asking, Patrick, and not at all prompting me.
Right.
I'm streaming on a Sunday night because it is statistically known that people experience anxiety more on Sundays than other days. Even if there's actually no physical symptoms, anticipatory anxiety that you might feel anxious on Sunday automatically kind of brings the day down. What I did not do in this is not my smartest hour. Walking Dead is premiering tonight.
Thank you, three of you, for putting this on.
I can't believe you're skipping zombies for us. I mean, what's Negan doing? What's Rick doing? What's that other person doing? And Michonne.
Right.
You don't know where... I read the comics, that's why I know their names.
Okay.
You don't know where they're at? Thank you for watching. I hope you are recording. Do people still DVR? You don't have to, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could... I don't know where you could stream
Walking Dead?
Walking Dead.
I mean, it's on AMC. I like that we're advertising Walking Dead, even though they clearly are fine. They don't
Well, I mean, everybody's watching it anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Sunday, personal anecdote.
Oh, it's so personal. Yeah, let's go. Let's bring it on. Because I'm not...
for you.
No, yeah, because I'm not about to...
Sunday nights, because going to work on Monday and going to work at a job that you might not super love...
this is once you're done with college and high school, which you clearly went through... but like it was a breeze.
5 minutes
Middle
ago.
school was amazing. Right,
You
so
were in
now you're in your
college.
job.
And now you have a job. Okay, great. So, yeah, so Sunday night before you go into work on Monday is, for a job you might not like, or maybe there's a big project that you're not super confident that you're, producing good work for, or what have you. Maria felt very anxious on Sunday nights because she had a boss that was not very accommodating, and she would go on to Instagram, or she would find YouTube videos to watch about meditation or yoga or anything to try to mitigate the Sunday night blues.
It wasn't going... Yeah, Sunday Night Blues is... But it wasn't going well because I would end up hysterically crying.
I mean, that's a coping mechanism.
I don't think you need like a physical demonstration to believe that I hysterically cried every Sunday. But yeah, like that was a real thing. It actually happened to me quite a bit through high school as well, because I was bullied in high school, and so I was afraid.
Going back to school on
Yeah.
Monday morning is
Yeah.
another thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a Monday morning class and
where
you're
the teacher is like an asshole.
and you
or
spend
whatever.
you spent your weekend enjoying yourself, and then now you remember that there's a paper that you have to do for Monday 8:15 a.m. class, and now you're struggling.
Dude, that's like super benign. I mean, yeah, you're gonna be anxious about that, but that's like super benign. We're
I think you
like a paper.
I wouldn't.
Why did you procrastinate? Man, see, type A here. Why did you procrastinate? Why did you wait until Sunday
Now
night?
you're just making them more anxious.
Listen, you could be watching Walking Dead right now, and instead you're writing this paper. You could have written that last week. I'm more concerned about the people who... more concerned about the people. I think I can more relate to the people who have a paper due on Friday that are freaking out about it on Sunday, knowing that they're going to spend this week writing it. Just, that's the kind of anxiety I'm talking about, where like you can't...
I think everybody's included.
All anxiety is equal?
Yeah.
All anxieties. Hashtag all anxieties. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, that's actually a really
So
good
I'm a
point.
jerk. No,
Yeah, don't
I will be this jerk. I will totally own that. You're right. Anybody who's because it's okay to be nervous, right? It's okay to be worried about a paper that you're going to submit on Monday. The difference is how debilitating it is to your day to day.
It could be detrimental to actually finishing the assignment, and then that's where it starts to get. Well, I mean, it might not exactly be mental illness, but counseling may also help.
Yeah. That's a great example. Hey, every time I have a paper due, I really freak out. Hey, every time I need to do public speaking, I really freak out. What if there was a professional public speaker person I could talk to? Just any professional. Talk to people who went through a bunch of school to teach you to help other people do stuff, right? That's pretty fair.
Yeah. I mean, they'll appreciate you seeking them out as well. I mean, they do that for a living because they like helping people and they like being able to, provide assistance for people who are searching for it. And if the only thing that you needed was to listen to a few people crafting and being like, hey, sometimes it's okay to be anxious, and sometimes being too anxious is no good, and maybe you can go talk to somebody about that. I would feel really great about that if somebody went after.
All right, well, don't be taking credit because you're sitting over here. Credit. You made some seaweed.
We got another person. Hello, person.
Oh, hey, person. Yeah. So okay. So I'm gonna wrap this up for person 4 who just joined. We made some seaweed. We told you if you're not feeling good, you should go see a professional about it. And Bob's your uncle. The end. Right. That's it. We did it, right? Everybody's cured of mental illness? That worked? No more depression or anxiety on the planet.
Right. I think the job is...
I didn't even have to finish connecting the dots to do that. Look at that.
You're going to drop your pencil again.
Oh my god. Listen, these pencils...
I think maybe we tilt the desk the other way. Or maybe you need a pencil corral. Like a little pencil box.
Oh my god, like a pencil...
Holder?
Cup, maybe?
No, you don't need a cup. Like a little box for all of them. So it could fit.
Why can't it be a cup?
Well, because then you can't put a cup away inside of another thing.
What if the thing I put it into is tall enough to accommodate a cup?
Well, why wouldn't you just get a box?
Alright, I think you are discriminating against pencil cup types.
I just don't... I think...
You're just trying to put everything into a box, Pat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not...
Eat your shorts.
Right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm not being inclusive of cup.
of all cups.
Yeah.
Cup discrimination. Okay, so I'm hoping that the takeaways for you today are there's a thing called anxiety, and there's definitely a line.
And there's a thing called Mxiety.
And there's a thing called Mxiety sitting right here.
Who wants to help you with your anxiety and depression?
Oh, can we make that rhyme? Can we make that like a tagline? Anxiety to help you with your anxiety. That's so funny.
I mean that's why you named it.
That's literally what it is. So when you go on my website, there's other nonsensical, awkward things that I say, and hopefully you'll find some resources that are better than nonsensical things that I say. But to summarize, seaweed, okay? Depression is okay, Anxiety is okay, Seeing a professional is okay.
Is a good thing.
Is good, yes. And what else is okay? Just being you, man. It's totally okay. If you have to take medication...
being extra anxious on Sundays.
Yeah.
Super normal.
Yeah, that's why we're here. And that's why we're going to be here on Sundays. That's the plan.
Be here on Sundays. Blog posts on Wednesdays or Thursdays.
Oh, man, you're advertising me better than I am. We don't even need like a... What's the... Okay, like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, you gotta like, comment, subscribe. Please,
like, comment, subscribe.
Just click that bell. You gotta smash the like button.
Is there a like button on Twitch?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
We watch too much YouTube.
Yeah.
That's the problem. you gotta smash it. I mean.
Listen, go ahead.
Twitch is a cool format.
Yeah.
It's a little underutilized for what we're doing right now.
Oh my goodness! Erin just joined us and she said words to us in the chat box. It's really cool. It's Erin.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yay! Okay, she's our 4th viewer. Thank you for the 3 viewers who were here before, Erin. Because clearly you care more than Erin does.
Ooh. You're alienating your audience.
You're my one audience. I love you. Just kidding. Actually, I'm really hoping that you guys will be seeing her on the podcast at some point because she's really cool and she makes stuff all the time. She can draw. She can make better seaweed than Pat will.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. Okay, so for our YouTube viewers, they're going to like, comment, and subscribe. They're going to go on my website. They're going to go on my Instagram.
Yeah, just...
Can I post any of that on Twitch? I'll find out. Yeah, so they're going to go on my Instagram and my website, and they're going to follow, and they're, so the way to find out when I'm going to be streaming next, because we're still figuring out our schedule, is the Twitters. The reason that the Facebook and the Instagrams aren't good for it is because they mash up all of your posts, and that just drives me insane, because you'll get stuff. I don't know if you even noticed. You get stuff out of chronological order.
Yeah, because the algorithm changed.
Yeah, so that's fun. So Twitter doesn't do that because its whole purpose is to be live, so that's how I'm going to be updating you.
Twitter's fine. People have Twitters.
People have
Twitters. It's still a popular media.
It is?
Yeah, it's not like...
Is that what the kids are doing?
You're going to print it in the newspaper, in the local news every
I
time?
will print it in the local news. I don't know. What is the local newspaper?
Oh.
So that's research I'm going to do
Erin's
for next
trying
time.
to chat, but then it's not going through.
She said the seaweed is beautiful.
But it's actually not seaweed.
Erin,
it's
not
scary,
seaweed.
Spooky, scary shadow light fixture.
Oh no! Oh, somebody left. That's so sad.
It's fine.
I hope
We've
it's
already
not
been on
Erin.
for an hour.
I wonder if it's her internet.
No.
We have been on for an hour. We're a minute to an hour, and we probably started late.
Well.
Okay. So you're gonna like, comment, and subscribe. Pat's not gonna be here all the time, but I will.
I'll be here sometimes.
And I'm non-professionally trained to talk to you for an hour about things that I kind of know some things about, just having lived through them. I'm also an expert on such topics as inhaling and exhaling air. Not all the time. I still fail at that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Also drinking water, keeping yourself hydrated. Not great at it, but I can definitely tell you all about it.
You need to think of a good sign-off thing.
My sign-off? I do have a sign-off.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to hear it? Okay.
Yeah, alright.
Okay. My sign-off is, I want you to be the light. Is that cool?
I don't know, work on it.
Oh, no. No, come on. So, well, okay, listen, there's a whole reasoning. So there's a, it's Neil deGrasse Tyson says, keep looking up.
Right.
Enjoy your burrito.
Right.
By good old Chris Hardwick. So my thing is, if you feel sad and you feel like there's nobody there for you, be the person there for somebody else. Reach out, and I can guarantee you'll find that there's more people out there like you who need another somebody to talk to. And I implore you to be the light to others. I was going to do a really cool thing then when we turn off all the lights. Do you want to try that? Like, be the light, and then you turn off. We have too many lights on, you guys. We'd have to, like, turn off a breaker. But it was supposed to be really cool. Maybe if I, like, put a thing over the camera? Like, black?
I don't know. We'll work on it.
Okay, so one last thing before we sign off, because it's our first stream.
Oh, you're gonna bring?
I'm gonna bring... Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, he made a little snorty sound. Oh, oi, 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 oi. Oh, he was sleeping, you guys. He was sleeping, you guys. He's such a sleepy peepee. He's wearing his cute little bandy, but he was just asleep. So
he's an almost therapy dog.
He's an almost therapy dog in that he's absolutely ridiculous, and that I happen to suffer from mental illness while he's a dog, and so that helps.
He's nearby.
And he is in the vicinity of me suffering.
Right.
Sometimes he runs away because I'm crying so loudly and he doesn't know what the sound is. But usually he's just a beautiful being of light.
Okay.
As he wants to go back to bed. He's like, please, please no. Please no.
Alright, Flynn. You're gonna be the light?
Bye,